Here is what we are doing for August the 14th. So because of when we are doing supply pickup, see the other video for details on how to pick up your supplies. I'm having to switch some stuff around. One issue is that you're not going to have your sketchbook in time for what I originally had scheduled. So I need to move that back so that you can actually do assignments in your sketchbook. And the other issue is if you're picking up supplies and they've marked off that you came in for that, that's an excused absence for you. And I don't want to have big stuff happening on a day when you have an excused absence. So here's what we're doing instead. I've done this before and it was always a lot of fun. Let's go here under Unit 1. We're still going to stay in the same unit, making mistakes. So I get a lot of students that are scared of not being perfect. And there is no perfect. There is no, I have made the perfect project. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything was absolutely the way I intended and beautiful. And no line was ever out of shape or doing some weird thing. It's just perfect. That's not how art works. And one of the things I love to do when I go to an art museum is to get up as close as I can without making guards nervous and see where the mess ups are, the things you don't see because you're standing back from something. So if you look at the image on the right, that is by a guy named Willem de Kooning, and his work sells for millions. And I just want to point out that that is not the kind of thing that students would typically be proud of. It is purposely expressive and contorted and weird, and that's just what he liked to do. And it's what he's most famous for. So let's stop worrying about making bad art. Enjoy making mistakes because mistakes are how we learn, and I'm not here to punish you for those mistakes. I would rather that you try something and have it not work out than having not tried it. Okay. So if you try something that was ambitious and you completely fall on your face, the remedy to that is to tell me. You can tell me in a message, just you and me. You can tell me in the actual assignment before you hit submit. I will give you those points back. 100%. I will give you those back because I would rather you try and have it not work out and learn something than to not try. So let's scroll down here. I want you to make the worst drawing ever. I want you to get over this idea that everything you make has to be a particular way. And plus, this is really fun to do, especially when you're under stress and bored and freaking out. It's amazing in 2020 that you can actually be all those things at the same time. But there's my example. I did that last night. It didn't take me very long. Here are general rules of things to not do in art. Do not make dark outlines around objects. Do not use emojis or symbols like hearts. Do not use lined paper. Do not make sloppy marks. Do not put the emphasis of your picture in the middle. Do not fold or damage your paper. Do not write text in your work. Guys, I mean, in other projects, it drives me nuts when people write in the art about what the art's about. Your work should show us what the work's about. It shouldn't need a text in the art itself. Do not make a picture out of floating random stuff. Do not scribble. And take a good quality image to upload. So I have broken many of those rules here. First of which is starting with lined paper that I just yanked out of a notebook. Then I made a somewhat disturbing emoji because that smile goes way too high. He looks very manic. And then I started doing these radiating lines around everything. I labeled it my drawing, and I didn't even bother to use good font or anything. I didn't squeeze the words in. And then I crumpled the mess out of this thing. It was so fun to crumple it up and open it up and then crumple it again. And then I purposely ripped part of it. And then I didn't even bother to try to put them closer together to take the picture. So this is my worst project ever. How am I going to grade yours? Because it's supposed to break rules. Here's what I'm doing. Project breaks at least 6 of the rules of art listed above. I really don't. I have 5 sections of this class with about 130 students. And let me tell you, I am not going to sit there and be like, okay, here's number 1. Here's number 2. Okay, then they did 5 and then 7. Like, no, you're going to tell me in the assignment what numbers you used, right? And as long as I don't see anything that's really off about it, that's fine. So that next part is write which rules you broke in the assignment notes. The entire paper is filled with marks. What I've got there is technically completely filled with marks, but you can go way overboard on this. Feel free to just take out all of your issues on this poor piece of paper. So that's going to be worth 35 points. So here is your actual assignment on here. It says the same stuff. It's just summarizing it for you. Down here is your rubric that I just described. So this is going to be due on Monday. You have plenty of time to do this, plenty of time for, things to go wrong, and email me about it, like if you're having trouble uploading or whatever. But that means that we are putting off things that you may have already gotten hints of. I know some of you have asked me questions about the quiz and that kind of stuff. Don't worry about that till next week. And even next week, I want some of you that are freaking out already, like, oh my God, we have a quiz. I have an alternative assignment for those of you who don't test well. I was the kind of student that doesn't test well. And I'm a conceptual learner. I could have sat there and told the teacher all the information, but when it came to a multiple choice or fill in the blank, I just couldn't remember anything. So if you're like me, there's an alternative assignment to doing the quiz. The quiz is quicker, but if you're worried that you won't pass it for whatever reason, if you're like me, then you can do the alternative assignment instead. Either way, I know that you've learned this stuff. So don't worry about it yet. In fact, don't worry. I don't want this class to be a stress for you. We will pick up more stuff on Monday, and then you'll literally pick stuff up on Tuesday and Wednesday. So let me know if you have any questions. I really hope this is fun for you. I hope it's cathartic, meaning like therapeutic for you. Get some of your emotions out. And let me know what you think about the projects too. If you really enjoy one, let me know. If there's an issue with it, I ask that you be respectful, but let me know that too, so that I can improve the class. This is all kind of new for all of us. Thank you.